It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, and thanks for tuning in. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you're finding me on the air for the first time, this is a daily show every single morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ, business variety show. Each and every morning as I talk to many different professionals, civic and entrepreneurial leaders about what they're doing in our communities to make a difference. So as always, I invite you to take a break from all the political news and sports talk that's on the airwaves with a show that is completely different from anything that you'll find on the airwaves in Tampa Bay at this time of the day. Also, please take a moment to visit and support my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, all shows are available on demand, both the audio and the video. We do stream the shows here live in studio in addition to the airwaves. So if you're sitting in front of a computer in your office, you can pick us up over there on tampabayradio.com as well. And also, you see that I do sell real estate. So if you can help support me in my real estate business, I can help you out with buying or selling a home. The website is an excellent resource for the Tampa Bay real estate market. Joined in studio, as always, by my streaming engineer, Josh Vozda. Josh, good morning to you over there. I put you on the spot there. How you doing this morning, Josh?
You could never put me on the spot. I'm good, man.
I know you're excited about today's topic. We're going to be talking about films here in the Tampa Bay region here in just a moment. So very exciting topic about what's going on within the film business here in the Tampa Bay region as we talk with Dale Gordon in just a moment. She's the executive director of the Tampa Bay Hillsborough Film and Digital Media Commission. So very exciting discussion to have here in just a moment. Also in studio with me, the lovely Stella Giudicelli with me as co-host today. Stella, good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm excellent. Thank you. Well, I was working all weekend.
Yeah, I was too. I mean, we do a lot of...
You've been my savior this weekend, actually, because I locked myself out of the office on the Sunday, and who arrives to work 5 minutes after that?
Yeah,
was
Sunday
you,
morning at like 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we keep each other occupied in the real estate office on the weekends when all the realtors are out showing homes or whatever. We're in there doing work, behind
on business.
Yeah, working on business. We have a little bit of a different real estate practice than the traditional realtors, but that's a separate talking point altogether. Also on the second part of the show, we talk with Michael Lebrecht, Vice President of Specialty Pharmacy with Benzer Pharmacy. So that'll be on the second part of the show as well.
Just wanted to mention you got a very cool listing.
Oh, yeah, she saw that yesterday. So, yes, it's a nice listing. Just took about a week and a half ago up in Carrollwood. I saw you were asking me about that yesterday.
Super modern. I love it.
Yes, it's up in Carrollwood. It's a 4-bed, 3.5-bath home with low inventory. This home's going to sell quickly. We already got some people looking at it and got some offers on it right now, but it's still available. It's up there in Carrollwood, listed at $452,500, 3,200 square foot home, very modern, very interesting home, and it's not going to last very long. So
right.
I know you had some buyers looking at it.
Right. So you have some offers, but you're still negotiating.
Yeah, still available. Yeah, still available.
So. What's the address, Jamie?
13706 Walbrook Drive. Okay. 13706 Walbrook Drive. Again, $452,500, 4-bed, 3.5-bath, and but a great home up there in Carrollwood, and again, 3,200 square foot, very modern home. So, but yeah, I saw you saw that on my email yesterday, right?
Right, send it to a bunch of my clients.
Very cool. Well, that's part of what I do, and to keep the lights on. So I talk radio in the morning, and then I go sell real estate the rest of the day. So, well,
I'm glad the lights are on today in the studio.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and bring on my first guest for the show. Dale Gordon is the executive director of the Tampa Hillsborough Film and Digital Media Commission, and is responsible for raising awareness of the area as a great destination for film and digital media production. Dale is a member of the Women in Film and Television Florida Board of Directors. Dale, good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
So first off, tell the audience, about the background of the Tampa Hillsborough Film and Digital Media Commission. What is this?
So, yeah, I think that's a good way to start. There are film commissions all over the world. A lot of people don't quite understand what we do, but ultimately, we're here to market our particular geographical area as a filming destination. And then depending on how sophisticated the film market is, the more services the Film Commission will offer. So because we do have a pretty deep film production community here, we do things like we have a digital location library. We help filmmakers find locations, and that can be anything from they call us and say, I need a neighborhood, or I need a fire station. I need a park to film in. Do you have any ideas? And so we have a digital location library inventory that we can send them examples and ideas and suggestions. We also facilitate one-stop permitting in our office. So anytime you are filming out in the community, you do need a permit. It is free. Our services are also free. But we facilitate all that on behalf of the filmmakers so that they don't have to go to the police department, to risk management, to traffic and engineering. We take care of that for them.
That's great, because I remember when we did a happy Tampa video with some friends, and we wanted to film in the streets, like kind of like on the road on Ashley, and we didn't know what to do because the road would have had to be blocked, and we kind of put that on the side because it looked like it was too much admin. But if we had known you, we could have gone to you, and you gladly would have supported us.
Yeah, and we're the ones, so we would facilitate all of that on your behalf. So we've done filming, and yes, there are costs to some of that. Obviously, if you're going to shut down a street, you're going to need to hire off-duty police officers, that sort of thing. But again, we will coordinate all of that for you and let you know up front what that cost would be, and what the process is.
Now, Tampa's been in the news recently with regard to a new movie that Ben Affleck's coming out with, Live by Night, which is a story that's going to center around Ybor City, but yet, surprisingly, they're not filming it in Ybor City. Yeah. Why are they not filming this in Ybor City?
Well, one reason and one reason alone, and that's because the state of Florida currently does not have any state incentives. What, again, most people don't realize about the film industry is that it's heavily incentivized. And so that's why places like Georgia and Louisiana right now are seeing great increases in their film production because they are offering very progressive and competitive incentive programs. Georgia last year, for example, gave out $1.5 billion in tax credits to the film industry for a return of $5.1 billion. So, unfortunately for
it's worth the investment, obviously.
Yeah, so it's and we've seen, and again, the value of film projects. When you have a film come into your community, not only are these high wage jobs, but they're also, they're staying in your hotels, they're eating in your restaurants, they're going down to Home Depot and getting lumber for their sets. So really, and it's a clean industry. So I always say there's, it's really only a positive impact. And then, I haven't even mentioned the tourism aspect, whenever something is filmed in your community and it's seen either on TV or in a film, that's recognition right there for your community. So, it's really a win-win industry, and we're just trying to get that message up to Tallahassee and hope that they'll support us this session.
So part of what you do is dealing with the state legislators and trying to get them to offer these incentives to filmmakers then. So what type of incentives do we need to offer? You say tax breaks to the filmmakers is one of the biggest areas of opportunity? Yeah,
what it is so the way that it's been structured, right now our current legislation, which ends in July of next year, it's a tax credit program. What we're trying to move towards is more of a rebate program, and Florida is already looked at as having the most fiscally conservative program in the country. We stand by that, and we even want to make it even more conservative. It's a performance-based program, meaning that not $1 is given until the money is spent and qualified and gone through an auditing process. So we're going to try to, again, we're working right now behind the scenes. Session is starting earlier this year. It's in January instead of March. And so we're working together with our shareholders. Actually, as soon as I leave here, we're going to have a legislative committee call. So we'll get some more information on the new direction. But the bottom line is we don't need to have the most competitive program in the state or in the country because everybody wants to come to Florida. Mm-hmm. The demand is high. We have a great product to sell. We have great weather, great locations, skilled workforce. So, at the end of the day, we have everything that everybody wants. They want to come here. But unfortunately, because of the business model of the film industry, they can't unless there is an incentive program in place.
What was the last major motion picture filmed in the Tampa Bay region? Was it Punisher? Was that?
Yeah, the Punisher was the last one. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. As far as Tampa proper, yes, the Punisher. But we did have the success of both Dolphin Tale Films over in St. Pete, Clearwater. We also had Magic Mike with Channing Tatum, and then Spring Breakers was another one. But again, keep in mind that those projects were all incentivized, and that is the only reason why they were here.
And we have another film in production right now, Infiltrator, correct?
Yes. So last spring, we did have two projects. We had both Tim Burton's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which is going to be coming out next year. They filmed parts of the film here, and there's a lot of hype around that because they really think it's going to be the next Harry Potter series. And then the one that we're so proud of is The Infiltrator, starring Bryan Cranston. And, both of these films were centered around content or stories around Tampa, just like Live by Night, the Ben Affleck film. But both of these films only were able to come here because of local incentives that were given by Hillsborough County and our community.
Interesting. So have you got to meet Bryan Cranston? Do you get on set with the actual actors and everything?
Yeah, no, I do. A lot of times I am so behind the scenes, and I work with during the pre-production process a lot more than the actual physical production. But being that it's becoming more and more popular for these celebrities to be producers, it does give me an opportunity to work with them. And so, I did meet with I had, dinner with Mr. Cranston and got to spend some time with him, along with the director, Brad Furman, who was just so amazing and, loves our community so much and would love to do another project here. Really, it was an amazing project, and it was so neat to see a project of that scale and magnitude come back to Tampa.
Interesting stuff. Let me take a quick break. Currently in studio with Dale Gordon, Executive Director of the Tampa Hillsborough Film and Digital Media Commission. Learn more about her at filmtampabay.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 Wins WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at tampabayradio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. 4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com. Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
That's a big delay from eastbound Hillsborough Avenue just before Orient Road. All lanes blocked there due to an accident involving a semi. Also, we've still got slow traffic on westbound I-4 from I-75 to around MLK. Southbound 275 a bit slow from Fletcher to Bush Boulevards. And southbound Veterans Expressway still very slow from Hutchinson to Waters. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson, Utica, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
When Marlon Shirley was 5, he lost his foot. Today, as the world's fastest amputee, he runs the 100 meters in less time than it takes to listen to this. Overcoming. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
Mostly cloudy overnight, a low around 73. Keep the umbrella ready for Monday, 70% chance of rain, high near 83.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Learn more about the show, TampaBayRadio.com.
Dale, so it's great to hear that your services are free and you're supporting our community by having the movie industry come and spend money here. Now, who finances you? Who supports you financially?
Yeah, so we are funded by Hillsborough County and the City of Tampa. We're actually a part of the Tampa Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. And then we are our own nonprofit, however, separate from the EDC, but we also get support from private entities as well. So we're a public-private.
Okay. So actually, I had seen you talk at the EDC, and I remembered you showing a bunch of very cool locations and beautiful homes.
Yep.
So my question is, do you have a need at the moment for more locations? And then how do you find people that are happy to let their houses and locations to movies?
Yeah, if you go to filmtampabay.com, which is our website, you'll see on there our digital location library that I was speaking about. We are always open to new locations. We do a partnership with the University of Tampa and do an intern program where we send out film students to go and shoot locations throughout the community. So if anybody is ever interested in having their location, whether it's a business or a property or even a home, we can send out a photographer and have them shoot it and pass that information on to our local location scouts as well.
And then, of course, these people then will receive an income from having their property.
Yeah, and it varies. Obviously, it varies on the property and it varies on the project, but especially in the real estate world, one of the things being that I was from Orlando, we had sound stages, and whenever a large project would come into our market, they'd say two things. They'd say, first, do you have a stage? And then second, if we did or did not, we say, yes, we have a stage. And they say, okay, do you have warehouses? Because a lot of times a warehouse can be made into a pretty effective sound stage as well for a lot less.
Makes sense, yeah.
Now, a lot of what gets filmed in Tampa Bay is commercials, correct?
That is absolutely right. And I think, it's fun and it's wonderful to talk about these, high impact projects and these, Ben Affleck films and Bryan Cranston films. And they're a very important component of what makes up our production community. But I would be absolutely remiss, and I feel like a lot of times our commercial production industry does not get enough merit. And I think that's usually probably because there aren't celebrities attached to it, but it is 100% the bread and butter of what is filmed in the Tampa Bay market and Central Florida for that matter. And so, and for me, I want to try to encourage more of that. And in fact, the county has supported us in giving us $150,000 of local incentives to try and recruit more high impact commercial production. So this is everything from, Nike to Bud Light to, couple weeks ago we had Louis Vuitton was here and shot their entire next fall catalog or their spring catalog, I think it was, in Ybor City. And, when you're talking about these kinds of projects, first and foremost, they're not necessarily incentivized at a state level. So they're not looking for that. They're fast and furious. They need somewhere they can shoot 24/7 green grass and blue skies. And right now, for example, we're in the height of our commercial season because we are one of the only places in the country that is still very, very green. So these advertising agencies are gearing up for their spring and summer campaigns. And again, now through April, we're still going to look like summer. Mm-hmm. So it's a natural sector of the industry that we are in, but we want to make sure that we're also keeping that infrastructure here and we're not losing them to other states that are, again, actively incentivizing the industry.
So do you spend more of your time up on Capitol Hill talking to legislators about state incentives, or do you spend more time in front of the filmmakers saying, come to Tampa Bay?
It's 50-50. And I try to see the legislators while I'm here in town and while they're here in town so that I don't have to go bother them while they're up in Tallahassee. But I do a lot of advocacy. I do a lot of education and a lot of public education as well, because I think it is important that people realize why this is necessary. And, because again, they don't understand it and they think, well, why does Ben Affleck need money from the taxpayers? And it's really not about that. This is a business model just like any other industry, and they have to do what makes sense for their bottom line. And when at the end of the day, we have, states competing against us that, again, specifically Georgia and Louisiana, that are close, that share the similar demographic that we do, similar landscape, we're going to lose out if it's between them and us and they can write a check and we can't.
What's the reaction that you get from filmmakers when you approach them and you try to sell them on Tampa Bay? What's their response? What's their opinion of the region?
Sure. And that's what I spend the other part of my time doing. And so I travel around and I go to film festivals, all over the world, really. And the goal is always to, again, meet filmmakers, meet independent filmmakers, and educate them about Tampa and Tampa Bay. They know of Tampa. I know a couple years ago when I first started, I would get this kind of look on people's face when I would say Tampa, and they'd go, Tampa? Where's that again? But, they knew it was in Florida. They knew it was in Florida. They just weren't quite sure where. But I think, Tampa's really coming into its own in the last couple of years. And, we've got really exciting development projects in the downtown corridor. And we've got, obviously with the Tampa Bay Lightning, with the Stanley Cup this year. And, we've got a lot of enthusiasm. And I feel like, it's finally Tampa's time. I think our leadership is aligned. They're really looking towards smart growth, and that message is getting out.
So the biggest thing is we need to get state legislators to offer incentives to filmmakers to bring these films to Tampa Bay. So consumers and listeners out there, if they're very excited about the film industry, they need to be reaching out to our legislators with regard to this.
Absolutely.
What are they waiting for? What's the problem for them not?
Well, there's, I won't get into the whole big political background, but I mean, it's very popular to be anti-incentive anything right now. So it's not specific to the film industry. It's just there's a lot of leaders in our legislature who are anti-incentive and don't feel like we should incentivize one industry over another.
Well, interesting discussion. Dale Gordon, thank you very much for being in studio with me today and discussing this about the Tampa Bay region.
Thank you.
Again, learn more about her over at filmtampabay.com. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking with Michael Lebrecht, Vice President with Benzer Pharmacy, so stay tuned for that discussion. And in the meantime, please take a moment and head over to my website, tampabayradio.com. All shows available on demand. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Back in a moment.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Worth were turned down in the past, have a low credit or income score, or don't have money for closing costs. That's this Sunday at 11 a.m. on 1250 Wins WHNZ, or visit tampabay.emmloans.com now. Lender NMLS 2926, Equal Housing Lender.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. Avoid the area of eastbound Hillsborough Avenue anywhere between Harney and Orient Road. That's all due to a crash involving a semi, and all the lanes are blocked. Traffic is slipping by in the median, but again, it's backed up to around 56th Street. Maybe consider MLK instead as an alternate. Southbound 275 also still very slow from Fletcher to Sly, and southbound Veterans from Gun Highway to Water. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Boys and Girls Club of America.
It's 3 p.m. School's out for America's kids. And when school's out, clubs are in. It's time to support the Boys and Girls Clubs. Visit greatfutures.org.
1250 Winds Weather Center forecasts. Today we'll see the high reach low 80s, a bit more seasonable. Rain chance high today, 50%, a little more cloud cover as well than sunshine. And tomorrow rain chance down, and low 80s once again, should see low 80s through most of the week. Impact Radio, 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. A business variety show, something different each and every weekday morning. Also, the show has expanded to include a real estate edition of That Business Show, which I air Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. with my co-host Frank Cotto of the Lincoln Lending Group. So that show airs over on 970 WFLA. And on that show, I get back to my roots and talk real estate each and every Sunday morning with Frank. And so it's a great show about what's going on in the Tampa Bay real estate market. And that show also available on demand over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with me on all the different social media sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show. Also, Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. And the show also does have a YouTube channel. Each and every video of the programming goes up on the channel, and we typically have that up by noon each and every weekday. Time to bring on my next guest for the show. Michael Lebrecht is the Vice President of Specialty Pharmacy with Benzer Pharmacy. Michael holds an MBA from the University of South Florida and his pharmacy degree from the University of Rhode Island. He's also joined in studio with Kamlesh Darji, who is in charge of marketing with Benzer Pharmacy. Gentlemen, welcome to the program today.
Good morning.
So, Michael, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit more about your background in the pharmaceutical business.
Yeah, good morning, Jamie. I am a pharmacist by trade, and I've been in the industry for 30-plus years. Worked 20-plus years for the old Eckerd Drug Company over in Lago. Spent 5 years working for a major PBM, both on the specialty side as well as on the PBM side, and that company would be Express Scripts based out of St. Louis. And then I built a specialty pharmacy program for WellCare health plans for 3 years. And this past year, I worked as a specialty consultant for a company over in Maitland, Florida called Theragy. And two of my clients were Giant Eagle in Pittsburgh and Cleveland Clinic in Cleveland, and actually built out their entire specialty operation.
Oh, quite a resume right there. Now, you use the term specialty pharmacy, and I don't know what you mean by specialty pharmacy. What is this?
Great question. Specialty really is a unique segment of specialty of pharmacy in general. It's a very patient-centric model. These folks that need specialty pharmacies have multiple challenges. First set of challenges, if you think about it, just the diseases they have to battle with day in and day out. And I'm talking about conditions such as HIV, hepatitis, some autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, psoriasis, and other conditions such as multiple sclerosis and oncology.
So when you say like high-touch patient care, is this like a patients that need more of a relationship with their pharmacist and with their doctor because they have a more chronic disease? Is that a safe assessment right there?
Yeah, it's the disease itself. You have to closely monitor them, ensure that they stay on therapy. They also, the other set of challenges they have, they deal with some real advanced therapies. And therapies that they have to inject by themselves, week in and week out, infused therapies that lead to very serious side effects. So yes, back to your question, they have to be watched, they have to be regularly monitored, they have to be regularly touched week in and week out. So it's not just I see you once a month and that's it. It's a continual process.
Okay.
So that's why I say high-touch patient.
Okay, so why are you offering this service? Tell me a little bit about the background behind this service.
Because there's a real need in the community. Because these folks, first of all, are scared. They need clinicians to work with them week in and week out. Again, some of these side effects that they encounter are very scary. So they need someone, real clinical staff to assure them, to work with them, to show them ways around the side effects. The other major issue these folks deal with is just the payer issues. That's the third set of challenges. There's some real complicated payer issues they have to deal with, getting insurers to cover these meds, and even some of the copays these folks encounter. It could be anywhere from $100 to $2,000. So they need assistance to walk them through. They need folks like us to really stick by them side by side and really do the research for them and really be an advocate for them, both with the payers as well as with many of the foundational copay programs.
So I was going to ask, so tell me specifically then how Benzer Pharmacy, differentiates itself from the other pharmacies out there. I know when I go to a pharmacy to, fill a prescription, you kind of get dealt with the assistant, and then the pharmacist comes over and says, "Do you have any questions for me?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "All right, thanks, bye." He goes back behind the counter. So
yeah, one of the beautiful things about Benzer Pharmacy right now is because we are an independent. And, we really do offer personalized service. So it's not a matter of walking into one of the big box pharmacies where, you're having to fight thousands of people to get your prescription filled. We really take the time. Our pharmacists are real committed to really reach out and provide individualized care to these folks and really spend the time with them. We're not there to rush them out the door. We care about the folks that we serve every day. So,
Tamlis, let me go over to you for a moment.
Sure.
Talk to me a little bit about the background then, the history of Benzer Pharmacy then. You're in charge of marketing with the company, correct?
Sure, that's correct. That's correct, Jamie. Thanks for this excellent question. Mm-hmm. The first Benzer Pharmacy was opened in Michigan in 2009. And since then, we have in Florida 29 stores, and we have over 40 nationwide. So we're growing. And our projected growth rate is to open 2 or 3 new pharmacies every month. And that's the background. And one of the things I wanted to sort of accentuate today is exactly what Michael said. We're about the community. And, we want to walk into a pharmacy that we'd like to walk into, that we'd like to refer our family to and our friends to. So that warm and inviting moment when you enter and people know you by the name. So that's what we're branding Benzer as a community pharmacy.
Okay, what's the plans for growth in the Tampa region then?
Okay, so we've done a number of things. We have, as I mentioned, we have a growth plan for 2 to 3 every month. We're out there in the community, constantly staying top of mind, supporting the community, because if you live in the community, you should give back to the community. We have a number of programs. For instance, just on Saturday, we were at an India Fest with 13,000 people, and Benza was one of the platinum sponsors there. So we want to get out there and talk to the community that, hey, Benza's here. We want to tell you and communicate to you about the Benza difference. What makes us different, like Michael alluded to, about the big box stores.
Yeah. So where are your locations at? And do you have facilities inside, like, the Walmarts and the Publixes where you find some pharmacies? I mean, are you for standalone locations, and where are you located at in the Tampa region, actually?
We have a number of stores. We're actually opening 4 today. We're in a number of areas: Wesley Chapel, we're Del Mabry, Carrollwood. We have, as I mentioned, 29 stores in Florida. If you go to the website, because we're constantly expanding, you can find out the geographical locations we are. We are standalone. We're typically in beautiful areas where you can get to us access-wise. You can see us. Our branding is so clear, and you can see us, and you'll know the Benza difference the moment you see it.
So you're opening 4 locations today? I didn't even know that.
It's a busy day.
Congratulations on that. I mean, in this highly regulatory health environment with Obamacare and all this, and you're growing. Is it a challenge to grow a pharmaceutical company in this type of an environment right now with all the regulations around the healthcare industry? Or talk to me a little bit about how to grow a pharmaceutical business then.
Sure. I think the best thing that I would say for that is that we accept challenges head on. We embrace challenges. We know in business there are going to be challenges, but we're undeterred. So, we'll look at these things as opportunities. We'll look at challenges as opportunities. We embrace them, and then we'll formulate a plan to move forward and a strategy. As I mentioned, one of the strategies we have is about the community. And Michael, if you have anything else to add to that.
Well, 2 things. One, I want to go back to your previous question, too. In 2016, because you asked that we also in, some of the larger stores like Walmart and whatever. But one of the plans that I had back in specialty is to build a major operation that's going to service specialty patients throughout the country in 2016. And that operation will be built in Tampa. We're making plans for it as we speak. So obviously, the good news there is we're going to be employing a number of folks in the Tampa Bay area as a result of that, and being able to touch specialty patients throughout the 50 contiguous states.
Very cool.
Going forward. So we're really excited about that. The other thing, too, there are always challenges in this business. There are managed care challenges. There are competitive challenges. There are, stores opening all the time. But, when you stand behind what you actually preach and you actually deliver the services, you convince people very effectively.
Yeah.
They talk to their neighbors, and they drive business to you. Just do what you say you're going to do, and we absolutely are passionate about doing that.
Now, how is the industry, Michael, you've been involved in it for, a number of years. What have you seen versus, 15, 20 years ago, changes in the industry? Have you seen a positive change in the pharmaceutical? Is it more regulatory? Obviously, it's probably going to be more regulatory, but talk to me a little about some of the changes that you've seen over the years.
Well, I think the change is certainly there's been significant mergers and acquisitions, and that continues to happen. Payers are continuing to make it more difficult to get pharmaceuticals approved and get patients on therapy. A lot of the drugs that are come out now, they're all biotech, real high-cost medications. So back to my point earlier, a patient can walk into a physician's office. The physician can prescribe the medication, but that's where the journey really begins. Because now it's getting a payer to actually pay it. And there's a significant amount of paperwork that has to happen, significant amount of coordination that has to happen between the physician, the specialty pharmacy, and the payer. Sometimes it takes days, and oftentimes it'll take weeks to get patients on therapy. And the folks get real frustrated because their physician just prescribed the meds. So again, you got to create a model that really you're part of the healthcare team, and you work cross-functionally across all the different segments, whether it be the payer, the physician, and you got to share information amongst both. So I see more of that happening only because of the high cost of these medications and the diseases.
Being that you are specialty care, does that create more hurdles and a tougher time with the insurance companies?
Yeah, it sure does, because one of the things some of these insurance companies, they kind of create a barrier for us because they own their own specialty pharmacies, and they convince their clients to kind of drive business to their own models. You can understand that. So that does make it more difficult for us. because one of our biggest challenges is to get into some of those payer networks.
So how do pharmacists stay up to date with all the different medications once they're, post, graduate? I mean, are you pretty much relying on the salesmen that come into the shops and say, hey, this is a great new drug. You should be offering this and recommending this to patients. How do pharmacists stay up to date on what's good and what's not?
Now, we do our own research, and we put together our own training, and we certainly make our own decisions.
But obviously, you got the salesmen that come in there and say, hey, this is the newest drug. I mean, you got to fight that influence, though, I imagine, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you should make sure you do your own research, and because you can find that information. It's just commitment to finding it out.
And what happens when the pharmacist may disagree with the doctor's prescription? Does the pharmacist ever pick up the phone and call the doctor and say, hey, I see you prescribed this, but maybe you should look at this? Does that type of communication go on within the medical business?
Yeah, some of that happens. And again, that's one of the reasons why you need to continue to train your folks. But another issue that we often deal with is the back to the managed care side is the appeals process. Because again, back to the fact that some of the managed care organizations try not to pay for these. So you have to dedicate folks to actually help the patients in the appeals process.
So a lot of what you do is really dealing probably with the insurance companies then versus doing patient care. And I think that's probably par for the course for a lot of people in the medical profession, though.
It's both. But you're right. There's a lot of legwork that has to happen behind the scenes with the insurers. You are absolutely correct.
Very good discussion. Let me take a quick break. Currently in studio with Michael Lebrecht, Vice President of Benzer Pharmacy, and also Kamlesh Darji, who is in charge of marketing. Learn more about them, benzerpharmacy.com. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com. Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 Wins WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Big delays on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue. It's going to be that way for a while. A truck involved in an accident just before Orient Road has all lanes blocked and traffic just sliding by in the median. Avoid that area. Use MLK as an alternate. Southbound 275 still heavy between Fletcher and Bush Boulevards. Southbound Bayside Bridge reports of a disabled vehicle blocking a lane and a crash in St. Petersburg, 4th Street, just north of 30th Avenue North. See traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abraham Son, Udork Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Grammy Museum at LA Live in Los Angeles. The Grammy Museum at LA Live in Los Angeles, a celebration of the power of music, from rock and hip hop to country, Latin and R&B to jazz. Visit the Grammy Museum in Los Angeles. For more info, go to GrammyMuseum.org.
Today, mostly cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, high 86. Tonight, a few showers early, then partly cloudy, low 74. Tomorrow, a cold front arrives with a high 83.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to the program. You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business, each weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Learn more about the program over at TampaBayRadio.com. Stella, you had an interesting point that you wanted to make, or a question regarding how you see, or how you've dealt with healthcare, or pharmacies, I should say, in France. So go ahead with your question.
Right. Well, here's what I'm hearing is, it's, I mean, you guys are emphasizing on the fact that, the pharmacy is there for people that have serious health conditions, which is great and awesome. But what I'm hearing too is that this pharmacy is also great for people like us. My experience here in the U.S. with pharmacies is actually not that good because I know better. In France, when you go to the pharmacies, they are standalone, and it's people that you know, and the service is just so different. It makes such a big difference, and I think that potentially listeners are not getting on how pharmacies like that are making a big difference in our lives when, at our level with a cold or something else, when the service is much better in a pharmacy, the experience is much better, and actually helps a lot. So I like you guys to expand on that.
Yeah, how being a standalone pharmacy basically offers better service than, to a typical big box facility, which is what Stella was getting at right there.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question, Stella. I mean, really, when you come right down to it, it's allowing the pharmacist the time to work directly with the patient. So when we bring on a new pharmacist, we make sure they clearly understand patient service is number one. It's not how many prescriptions they fill. It's not how quickly they fill them. It's really spending the time, committing the time to work with that patient. And we make sure that our stores are staffed with enough ancillary help to allow that pharmacist to do that. And anytime you can deal directly with the patient, show compassionate care, you're going to get mileage out of that patient. And it's going to truly turn into the best clinical outcome for the patient and the best cost-effective outcome.
Very good discussion point there. Stella, I mean, do you see a big difference in terms of quality of service then between the French pharmaceutical industry and what we see here in the States?
I actually do, and it's tough to explain until you experience it. So I really invite people to go on the website and look for the location closest to them and just go and give it a try. Because even if it's for a cold or, sometimes we're getting medication, we don't really know what it is, but you need to experience it to see, to understand what it's going to do to what you're going through, basically. But that's one of the main difference in my life here in the U.S. and in France is really the medical side of things and pharmacies as well.
Interesting point there. Camillus, let me go back over to you then. Your services that you offer there at Benzer Pharmacy. Elaborate on some of these for the consumers.
Sure, yeah. We have an app, for example. Not many pharmacies have a Benzer Pharmacy app. We have refill reminders, online refill services, free medication flavoring. Some medication is not quite palatable, so we can flavor that. We have integrated package, but we also have free home delivery. So a lot of folks can't get out or are unable to get out. We can actually deliver medication to them, and there's another opportunity for people to learn more about Benzer and what we do. So we have a whole host of services. And Michael, do you have anything else to add to that? And give out the number?
I want, before I forget too, because I'm sure as folks are listening and they're saying, "How can I join? How can I sign up for their specialty pharmacy program?" And I just want to leave a 800 number with you, and that if folks are on those medical conditions that I mentioned earlier, the number to reach out is 844-898-9160. Again, 844-898-9160. And our staff will be happy to assist in really start managing, obtaining all the information they need from their physician or other healthcare providers and really start managing those patients.
Okay, for listeners that tuned in late, in the term specialty pharmacy and stuff, re-elaborate on what this is, for the listeners out there. We're talking about people that are suffering from, debilitating and chronic medical conditions such as hepatitis and Crohn's disease, but elaborate on this a little bit more.
Yeah, again, it's folks that day in and day out have to deal with those complex and complicated disease states. Again, as we mentioned before, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer. Again, people forget cancer, right? HIV, hepatitis, again, Crohn's disease. But it's also folks that have to deal with very complicated medicines or regimens. And again, self-injectables, home infused products that they have to have a nurse come to their home and actually administer the drug. And again, just high cost oncolytics that folks take for cancer. Again, drugs with really, really severe side effects. So they need someone to walk side by side with them, assure them that we're with you, how to help them manage the disease, and really, again, just be their advocate too with the payer community.
Now, Camillus, you mentioned home delivery service. Is that something that's typically covered by insurance, or is that something that people have to foot the bill for themselves?
No, it's absolutely free.
It's free. It's a free service.
It's a value-added service, to make sure that the customers get the best, excellent service. We want to make sure no one's left out. So that's one of the things that we offer.
Yeah. And so what is the long-term plans then? We got about a minute left or so, but let's wrap it up then. So what is the long-term plans for Benzer Pharmacy? Is it national right now? I know you got a lot of locations in the Tampa Bay region, but what's the long-term outlook for this?
Well, we do have a national plan, and we have different Benzers in different locations. But right now our focus is to grow the base here in Florida. So as I mentioned, our goal is to open at least 2 or 3. That way we can serve the community better and give them another alternative, another opportunity to see who we are and learn about Benzer.
Yeah, and just to build on those comments, we are currently in 10 states, and the goal is to have Benzer get close to a store count of about 300 to 400 over the next few years. And we do have plans to franchise because we really do believe in our model. And we do believe that there are a lot of independents out there that would want to join us with our model, mainly because they become part of the Benzer family. They can take advantage of really what we believe in and just the whole clinical offering nationally.
Well,
so we're excited about where we're going.
Great discussion, Michael and Camillus. I greatly appreciate you being in studio with me and Stella and Josh here this morning. So best luck to you, and congratulations on the 4 new locations you're opening up today. So again, congratulations on that. And people can reach out to them, 844-898-9160, 844-898-9160, and visit BenzerPharmacy.com for more information. Well, everybody, I hope you have a great Monday, and be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.